Hey there, it's Clay with modernlove.life, and in this video we're going to talk about some things that are going to make your ex not come back to you. Now this is really frustrating for me because I hear a lot of people's stories about their relationship, why it's not working out, what they're going through, and it can be really frustrating for me when I'm, reading through someone's story about what's going on, I'm listening to them, all that sort of stuff, and I'm hearing some things that are actually sounding pretty good. I'm hearing some things that sound like, okay, that your ex, your partner actually kind of wants to work things out here. But then I'm seeing the actual client doing things to sabotage the relationship, doing things to sabotage their own progress. And when it makes sense, I'll go ahead and let them know that, and hopefully they are coachable enough to actually want to get that taken care of. But sometimes people are just so closed off, so unwilling to take feedback or criticism or things like that. I'm not open to doing things in a different way, and that's okay. But you're talking to someone who wants to coach you here, and you're supposedly reaching out because you want help. Anyway, things that are going to cause your ex to never come back to you. Now, the first one is if you're operating from a place of being extremely panicked and in damage control mode. Now, damage control mode is that state of being that we talk about where you're basically highly panicked. Oftentimes you're in this state of mind after your breakup, or whenever you get some sort of, really shocking news, like, oh my goodness, you're dating someone new or something like that. But it causes your stomach to drop. Causes you to text a million times a day. It causes you to beg and plead. It causes you to, promise up and down that things are going to be different, apologize a million times, all that sort of stuff. And again, I have been there more times than I'd care to admit, so I get it. I understand where you're coming from, but this is also not going to help you to get back together with your ex. Your ex needs to be able to connect with you emotionally and be able to actually have a strong, meaningful, quality connection with you if they're going to want to get back together with you. If you're just not even yourself, how can they even connect with you? If you're acting out of character, how can they actually connect with you as a person? So you need to get your emotional world handled. You need to be able to get that damage control stuff taken care of. That's why we have the emotional content inside of the X Solution program. That's why we also have the emotional freedom course. Emotional freedom is really about sort of that deeper emotional work. You got to get that handled. The next thing that people often do that holds them back and actually makes their ex not want to get back together with them is that they are living their life and making their life not okay without their ex. They're saying like, okay, my life is never going to work because we're not together. My life is never going to be good because we're not together. I'm never going to be happy again because we're not together. I'm just depressed. I can't get myself to do anything, all that sort of stuff. And I get it, you might feel down. You might be having a hard time with life. You might be really unmotivated to do things. However, we have to start thinking about what's going on in a bigger picture sense. When someone is going to choose to be in a relationship with us, they're basically saying, hey, I could see myself being with this other person. And basically, if they're going to choose to be with you, they're going to say, okay, I could see my life being better as the result of me being with this other person. That, people aren't going to say, yeah, I want my life to be worse by being with this other person. They want their life to be better because, most of us operate from a place of self-interest. And so if you're depressed, if you're unmotivated, if you're not living your life for you and living your best life, you're not giving them a good reason to want to be with you, okay? So if you need to do what you need to do to get that emotional stuff handled like we talked about before, but also pick yourself up and live your best life. Yes, there is a lot that can be done by saying certain things, by texting your ex, by having conversations with them. But a lot of the deeper, more high impact stuff that it isn't as flashy as, hey, send this text message, hey, tell them that, is going to be like, okay, how are you bringing yourself to an interaction that's actually going to inspire them to want to choose to be with you, to want them to choose to be in a relationship with you, to get them to say, yeah, that's what I want. My life is going to be better off because of that. The third thing that people do that causes their ex to never want to come back is guilting them or shaming them. Guilting them or shaming them about the breakup, guilting them or shaming them about how terrible they have it now, all sorts of stuff like that. This is not going to help. Basically, any form of pressure when it's not the right time is going to cause them to want to distance themselves more, pull back more, because we've talked about this many times, but as a dumpee, you feel a heavy sense of rejection, of loss, of all of that sort of stuff. Your ex feels a sense of loss as well too, but they also feel this sense of guilt. A dumper feels a sense of guilt because, none of us want to go out there and say, okay, yeah, I'm going to break your heart. I'm going to make you cry. I'm going to make you sad. I'm going to make you depressed, all that sort of, like, people don't want to do that. If they found themselves in a situation where they were having the breakup talk with you and it wasn't going very smoothly, there was crying, tears, all that sort of stuff, they're going to feel guilty about that. And whenever that feeling of guilt is agitated, they're going to probably pull back, withdraw from you, shut you out, etc., because they don't want to feel guilty. There's other things that they do in this state of mind as well too, but that's a topic for another day. But basically, if you are guilting them, if you're shaming them, if you're making them feel bad, if you're causing any of that sort of stuff to be agitated, then they're going to want to pull back. They're going to want to decrease their connection with you. They're going to go backwards on those 5 stages of getting back together. I don't think I've called that out in that video, but we do have a video playlist called the 5 stages your ex goes through in getting back together. Please check it out up there. A lot of people have said it's been really super helpful and insightful for them. It might be super helpful and insightful for you as well too. But it's going to cause them to start moving backwards in those 5 stages. So instead of going, up towards crisis point or new beginnings, they're going to actually start to move backwards towards riding the dragon, test drive, maybe even wall of reactance, depending on how bad things get. As we move on, by the way, if you like this video, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button for the YouTube algorithm. It does help us out. It does help tell YouTube to give our videos a little bit of a bump when people are searching for things. So if you like my videos and you want to pay it forward and help make my videos easier for other people to find, hit that thumbs up button. Leave a comment down below letting me know what sorts of videos you'd like to see me make in the future, and maybe subscribe to the channel as well too. All it takes is just a moment of your time and it's totally free, and it helps support the channel. But yeah, moving on, another thing that people do that causes them to we want to be with people who are going to add something to our lives. We want to be with people who are living an awesome life. And there's one pretty much universal thing about attractive people, and that's that they're going places, they're doing things, they're out there living their best life, whatever that means for them. That doesn't mean that you need to go and be successful by whatever societal standard that may be. I mean, maybe you do. Maybe you go out there and you start a business, you get a promotion at work, you do all these other things. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But maybe that's not what your life is all about. Maybe what's more important to you is traveling. Maybe what's more important to you is family. Maybe what's more important to you is community and maybe a certain spiritual organization or something like that. But either way, find out what your values are and live into them. Because the more you live into them, number one, the more excited and passionate you're going to be about your own life. But number two, the more you are going to carry that passion and excitement into your interactions with your ex, and that's going to cause them to be like, wow, this person's really doing something interesting. I want to be a part of that. And it's also going to allow you to light yourself up a lot more. And, obviously that's going to be super attractive to a lot of people out there, especially your partner. And if it's not, then hey, the right person will find that super attractive. And then what we also want to do, number 5 here, is to make sure that we are putting on positive pressure. Now, we've talked about avoiding putting on pressure earlier on in this video. However, there is a point and time when we want to put on positive pressure. Now, positive pressure is where we are, having some form of healthy boundary when that's necessary. We're taking ownership and responsibility for it. Like, okay, that's fine if you want to date other people. However, where I'm at is I'm looking for this. So if that's what you want to do, then maybe I should do this instead. That can be positive pressure. Other ways that you can also do this are actually put some pressure to get a decision made when your ex is at one of those other stages, like crisis point. Up until crisis point, you're still building that emotional connection, and it makes sense to keep the pressure low. However, at crisis point, we want to actually put the pressure on so that there is a reason for them to actually make a decision, rather than having it both ways and stretching this whole situation on for a lot longer than it really needs to go on for. So please make sure that you do put on positive pressure when it makes sense to do so. So in this video, we've talked a lot about your way of being. We've talked a lot about how you are bringing yourself, what you're doing, all that sort of stuff. This is what we do talk about a lot in our coaching program called Commit. If that is something that you are interested in, we do have the Commit coaching program. I do work with the people in that group for quite a while and in a very deep sort of way. So it's application only. We want to make sure that we're working with the right people, not just anyone. So go ahead and apply to it at modernlove.life/quiz, and you can go ahead and fill that out. And if it makes sense for us to work together, we can have a conversation about that. And if so, we'll do it. If not, then hey, no worries. But again, that's over at modernlove.life/quiz. There's, of course, other ways that we can work together down in the description box below. But take care. Hope that helps you out. And please make sure you hit that thumbs up button for the YouTube algorithm. Take care, and I'll talk to you next time.